Hi guys, Matt Lemke here with True Gamer Goggles, gamer-goggles.com. Yeah, that was Three Stooges. And we are at the Modiphius booth, and I'm here to talk with Sam Webb, one of the creative minds between all things RPG at Modiphius. And it is all things RPG.
Yeah, Head RPG Dude was my official title as of yesterday. We figured that out in a different interview.
As of yesterday?
No. I have a loftier title than that, but Head RPG Dude is like that fixes it for me.
It sounds cool, and I mean, you've got your plethora to pick from, but let's go ahead and, let's talk about the Fallout RPG first.
All right. So this that we brought out just now is the Wasteland Warfare standalone expansion. So it is building on the war game that we brought out just this year, and that's been spearheaded by James Sheehan, who was developer as well and designer for Wasteland Warfare. So it basically is, like I say, a standalone expansion, so you can play it without having to get the miniatures and the starter set and all that kind of stuff. It does require the dice that we use, but otherwise it gives you all the tools you need to like role play in the Wasteland. Otherwise we've got the 2D20 kind of version of the role-playing game coming out next year, hopefully. We're developing that at the moment, because why make one Fallout role-playing game when you can make two, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, and I did actually get to playtest the RPG.
Nice.
My experience was a little bit, I don't know what the right word is, because we had fun,
sure,
but I think it didn't give the rules a fair chance, because my boys rolled like 14 critical hits.
I mean, I can't do anything about dice.
Yeah, no, you can't. So, we had a blast, but it was a little, we didn't have the dice.
Right.
So we downloaded the PDF to do it, and we're like, going back and forth. So it broke our fluency up a little bit.
Of course.
But we had a blast. The only thing we didn't really get to do was crafting. So how does crafting work?
I'm not entirely sure, to be honest with you. I oversaw most of the production of the book, but in terms of the nitty-gritty of the design, that'll be one for James.
All right. Well, another time, or I'll spend more time on it afterwards, because we only got to play the one session. So what all is coming out for the RPG? I know that first off, let's back up a step. It is really designed that if you already know how to play the miniatures game, to step right in. There's little to no change with the rule set when it comes to combat and things of that nature.
Yeah, by design.
Yeah, by design. Because I played the RPG or the miniatures game, and I had filmed the demo last year. It was an easy transition. We just didn't have all the tools we needed.
Right.
Which is fun. And you got cards coming, right? Your cards?
Yeah, sure. So it's not part of the RPG release, but we just released a new wave of like the Raiders faction for the war game. So there's a kind of like, we're calling like a Wave 2 expansion card deck pack, which gives you everything you need for the next few releases in the coming few months.
And then, let's see. What else do you want to talk about? We got so much stuff here in front of us.
A sea of books and games in front of us. Just to my left, we've got Infinity, which we're delivering the Kickstarter of over the course of this and next year. So we're working our way through Wave 3 now of that Kickstarter. So a lot of the supplements and stuff coming out.
Is the combat in this very similar to the Infinity miniatures game?
Yes, so like very reactionary, and again by design, very much kind of inspired by that. Still uses our proprietary 2D20 system, but like I say, quite reaction heavy in terms of that. But yeah, it's got the usual what you'd expect from one of our games, the ebb and flow of momentum and heat, I believe it's called in this. And yeah, captures Infinity beautifully, I think.
Okay, so how many Star Trek cubes are left?
There's a couple dozen that you can still get. We might be getting some more as well, just a few more coming in from the last bit of the production run. So,
I want to get the limited one. I want to get the right number.
Okay.
I'm waiting. I gotta go.
Like 1701.
Yeah, 1701. I gotta go check again.
All right. Well, I got number 1, so
I'd rather have that one. I'd rather have 1701.
Sure. I might have to talk to Chris about getting that one then. Maybe both. I don't know. You got some perks to the job, right?
Well, yeah. Certain amounts of power. Yeah. So, of all the games that you have been involved in, which one's your favorite?
Star Trek Adventures. That was my baby. 2 years ago when I first got to Gen Con, we were releasing it here. And I'd overseen the project management of that as well, kind of like editorially as well. And I was really, really proud of what we did. And we got it to Gen Con and it flew off the booth. It was great.
So what's it like to have like a Star Trek license? Is there a lot of room for you to play with, or?
Strangely, yeah. Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. CBS are really open to different storylines and kind of like speculative stories in different parts of the universe. It's really, really good fun. Editorially, it's quite tight on its like formatting and its like syntax and all that kind of stuff. The way that you kind of format names of starships and stuff like that. That's the real detail that you drill down into. But ultimately, CBS really want us to see like cool, creative stories come out of the game. So we were allowed to do that. I mean, so it shows because we had the first mission compendium come out not shortly after the core book release, and that's called These Are the Voyages. And then this year we've also got the second mission compendium coming out called Strange New Worlds. So you can see where that series is going, right?
Yep.
So yeah, so that contains I think 10 new stories, like new missions to play through, including one of my own again. So which is something I'm very like humbly proud of. A little humble brag there for you.
So which genre of Star Trek do you prefer to play in?
Well, I grew up watching Next Gen, so of course, and there's a lot more material for Next Gen, I think, than anything else.
So, are you looking forward to the new Picard series?
I am, yeah. But I'm also a Discovery fan. Like I had real fun watching that. Really looking forward to Picard. I think a lot of people are. I mean, he's got a doggo. Who doesn't like Picard with a doggo, right?
Right. I haven't actually got to watch any Discovery yet, sadly.
Oh man, it's a roller coaster. Well, it's kind of like a completely different format too. They've gone for more of the serialized, like kind of the story is from start to end of the season. So like you kind of Netflix shows like Stranger Things and that kind of stuff, where it's like a long, it's like a long plot line that kind of all culminates and comes together right at the end. So there's that in the first season, and then they do that again in the second season with a different plot line. So it's not quite the Star Trek you're used to, but it's a really thrilling ride when you're on it.
So I have there's something going on in my mind. I know there's another big RPG thing we need to talk about, but I can't remember which game it is.
Dune?
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe,
yeah, maybe that's the one.
Yeah, that's the one we can talk about. So we're currently developing Dune, working quite closely currently with the licensors. So working with Legendary Entertainment, we're also working with Brian Herbert and the estate there. Development on our side's been fairly good, and we've been waiting a little bit on the estate just to kind of sign things off for us and get some of our like product outlines and some of our story outlines signed off by Brian and the estate. So when we have news, we'll definitely let you know. But for the minute, I don't have much to say, unfortunately.
And that's 2D20 system also?
Yeah, so we're developing, again, a new iteration of the 2D20 system, specifically tailored for Dune and the feeling of that universe and that fiction, like we do for every one of our games. And having played a bit through the alpha and seen the beta manuscripts that have come through, I'm really looking forward to people getting their hands on it. My intention is that we get to do a nice big public beta for people to get, like we did for Star Trek Adventures, for people to get their hands on and then give us feedback on, because ultimately we're making a game for all of us rather than just like making our own thing, so we really want to hear from people.
Excellent. And what do you got planned for the fall?
Just loads more book releases. We're finishing off John Carter, so we've got a fair amount of layout work done on the 3 supplements that we promised during the Kickstarter. So that focuses on the different eras of John Carter in terms of its fiction. So there's the Prince of Helium opener, I think, and then the Jeddak of Jeddaks finishes it off. Oh yeah, so Dotar Sojat is the first of those supplements. So that's when he like lands on Mars and like becomes kind of Dotar Sojat, you know. Then each supplement then kind of focuses on what was in those stories, those kind of novels, but then also thematically then what you can build into your game for that, and provides you with like new mechanics, new little subsystems, and advice on how to include that kind of stuff in your adventures.
Excellent. Anything else?
I mean, we got loads. I could be here all day. if you want.
What do you want?
Well, so we're continuing development on Acton Cthulhu 2D20. So we're bringing that in line with our 2D20 system. Conan we're finishing up on as well. So hopefully by the end of this year we'll have everything squared away with the Kickstarter.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So all of those supplements coming out. I think we've got like 5 to maybe 7 more books to come out in the space of 6 months potentially. So there's a lot there, and hopefully folks at home who are maybe waiting can understand that we've got a lot of work on our hands. So that's why it's taken so long.
Well, no, I mean you've got 18 licenses roughly.
Across the company, maybe. Yeah.
And then on top of that, there's book after book.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're pretty busy, and licensing is a whole new level of work.
Yeah. You've got to account for approvals and working with a licensor of
whatever
IP.
time delays. No, we don't like it this way. Fix it.
Yeah.
Yep. Especially when it comes into the models, which we can. That's another story.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess that wraps it up. I mean, unless you have something you want to focus on. No, he's tight-lipped.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, man.
Let's get the other web.
Yeah. Let's get my.
Hi guys, meet the Nibbles, who's gonna go down. She just decided not to go down my back, so we'll do this for her so she's comfy. Thanks for watching my video, and I appreciate it. Please hit the like button and share it if you know somebody who might be interested. And of course, there's always Twitter and the Facebook thingy, and soon I have a newsletter coming. That'll be down there or in a link below. And my kitty cat loves that idea. So anyway, there was one more thing. Oh yeah, subscribe. Be a part of my community, our community. Let's make it grow together. See you guys at a con somewhere, or a local store, or if I'm driving through the country, maybe a game club. I don't know. You're not gonna go knock down my camera. Bye, guys.